Hey guys, and welcome to my 1 to 99 and 120 Dungeoneering guide for 2019. Now when you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax and enjoy. Now before I start off the guide, I just want to say Dungeoneering is a bit of a strange skill. It's very different compared to most skills, and I have a list of useful skills on screen now, but really you want to be maxed if you want to optimally Dungeoneer. So in a way, every skill is useful, but I have the main skills that are very useful for Dungeoneering listed on screen. So first off, it's defense, obviously, so that you take less damage and have a higher defense bonus regardless of any or if you are wearing any armor at all. Of course, the higher the defense level you have, the better armor you can wear in Dungeoneering. Herblore is another useful skill for Dungeoneering, as you can easily take a sip of a potion, preferably an overload, before starting a dungeon to get a boost in levels and possibly even a prayer renewal bonus. Prayer is definitely also a useful skill from level 43 on for the protection prayers from magic, ranged and melee, which can be used in the dungeons. If you have a higher level of prayer and completed the temple at Santistan quest, you can also use curses in the dungeons, which can be extremely useful, especially Soul Split. Magic is also a useful skill for Dungeoneering for the Create Gatestone spell and the Group Gatestone teleport. Runecrafting is also a useful skill for making runes inside dungeons. The next useful item are the Gorajo cards. Now I'll be leaving a link in the description below to all the cards. You can see them to the right of the image you see on screen now, but you probably can't read them properly. Anyways, one can be used per team at a time per floor. The cards have an effect that lasts for one entire floor, and they can be obtained from either the Gorajo Horde Stalker from the resource dungeons, or they can be bought with 5 or 15,000 Dungeoneering tokens from the reward shop. The next useful item is the Perfect Juju Dungeoneering Potion. Now this potion is a potion that per sip lasts you 4 hours, increasing your damage during Dungeoneering by 5%. It also increases your chance of finding journal pages, and it gives you a hidden +2 level boost for opening any skill door. The next useful item is the Daemonheim Aura. This aura is a reward from completing Daemonheim tasks. Now if you've done your easy tasks, you will receive the tier 1 version of this aura. They're medium, hard, and elite, and eventually for the elite you get the tier 4 version of this aura. I'll again leave a link in the description below to see all the bonuses, but the most important ones of the aura are on screen now. So it's a free death, which is for any tier of the aura, and this can only be done once a day, giving you a death without penalty, losing no experience whatsoever from the dungeon. From tiers 1 to 4, the Ring of Kingship's secondary effect is increased by 25, 50, 75 and 100% for tier 4 of the Daemonheim Aura. With any tier of the aura, you can also choose the next boss in the next dungeon once per day. Now the tier 2 plus version of the aura can let you bind potions and gives you free law and cosmic runes when starting a dungeon. And if you have the tier 3 or 4 version of the aura, you get 10% increased rewards from sinkholes. That means tokens and experience, and of course more, but you have to check the link in the description below for that. The next useful item, or should I say items, are the Gorajan Trailblazer outfits. There's a frozen, furnished, abandoned, and occult version of this, and if you combine all of those together, you get the warped version of the Gorajan Trailblazer outfit, which is a bit better. So this outfit has a huge variety of bonuses, including a 5% experience boost while Dungeoneering from anything in the dungeon, or 7% if you have the combined version of the outfit. The outfit also gives you a 5 or 7% increase in tokens and experience from any Dungeoneering floor reward, a 5 or 7% reduction in depletion rates inside the dungeon, and a +3% level boost to all stats excluding Dungeoneering, summoning and invention. The warped version also gives you the ability to skip a puzzle per floor that you do, additional daily sinkhole teleports, 3 in fact, and you won't slip on icy floors inside dungeons at boss fights because you have these so-called ice climbing boots, and a very important and nice bonus, a +10% sinkhole experience boost if the outfit is earned. This is only the case for the combined version, by the way. The next useful item is the Master Dungeoneering Cape, acquired if you have 120 Dungeoneering and go and buy the Skill Cape or Master Skill Cape. Now this item gives you unlimited teleports to the resource dungeons, but that really isn't relevant for this guide. but what it does do is gives you a chance to choose a boss on your floor, which is very, very useful. And it increases lore drops inside Dungeoneering floors and elite dungeons, and it can in fact, like the 99 skill cape, be worn during Dungeoneering. Another useful item is the Dungeoneering lock melter that requires level 70 invention to unlock and 55 dwarven currency. This is an item that lets you unlock any door that you cannot unlock, which is a non-key related Dungeoneering door. You can only use one per dungeon per party. If you are wondering, here's a list of quests that give you Dungeoneering experience on completion. Now, if you've never been to the Dungeoneering place, also known as Daemonheim, I'm going to show you guys how to get there now before I tell you guys about the basics of Dungeoneering. If you've never been to the Dungeoneering area, go to Lumbridge, go to the Lumbridge Swamp and sail at the boat as seen on video. Then talk to the Dungeoneering tutors to get your Ring of Kingship to start Dungeoneering. Once you have the Ring of Kingship, you want to form a party and then start your first floor on Complexity 1. On this complexity, you will pretty much just have to kill monsters and collect keys to open doors, which is pretty straightforward. I'll be getting into the types of doors and stuff that you can encounter throughout the dungeons once you're going to be doing dungeons on complexity 6, but you have to do dungeons up to complexity 6 before you can unlock normal Dungeoneering, aka Dungeoneering on complexity 6, because you always want to be doing it on complexity 6 for the maximum amount of experience. So you have to do one in complexity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finally 6, and you've unlocked all complexities. There's different types of doors during Dungeoneering. The first of which I'm going to talk about right now is the skilling door, which is opened using your stats. So let's say the door is blocked by a bunch of branches. You would be using the woodcutting skill to cut these branches away, and then you can open the door. Those are skilling doors. The next door is a door you will encounter during any complexity. It's the Guardian door. Now once you find a Guardian door, you'll have to kill all the monsters in the room to open that door or be able to unlock it. But do keep in mind, if there's a little dragon in the room that looks harmless, do not kill it, as you do not need to kill it to open the Guardian door. The next and final normal door is a key door that is opened with the correct color and shaped key you find throughout your dungeon. Pretty simple. Throughout the dungeon, you will also encounter puzzle doors every now and then, or just puzzles. I'll leave a link in the description below, as there's various amounts of puzzles and it would take me far too long to explain you how to correctly do all of them. They can be very annoying and tricky, and that's why I highly suggest you always have the wiki open for the puzzles. Now whenever you do dungeons, there's food and weapons on the floor, and throughout your dungeon you're going to be finding food and weapons when you kill monsters inside the dungeon. Now you can actually bind these weapons and armor and everything you find, pretty much, even runes. Now what I suggest you do throughout your Dungeoneering journey, as you can go and bind more items depending on your level, is opt for a hybrid setup of a ranged, magic and melee weapon. As this way you can kill monsters that are weak to the weapon, or specifically more bosses, because that's more important of course, that are weak to those types of weapons. So the optimal binds are the tier 99 weapons, the Sagittarian shortbow, the Celestial staff, a Sagittarian body for extra life points and defense bonus. If you don't have it though, take the other ones that are after it. So the blood necklace is very useful for passive healing. A primal one-handed weapon is what you want to have as well, or just any other one-handed weapon so that you can use the barge ability to launch yourself at certain enemies, and a shield for adrenaline stalling or healing here and there with resonance if you need that. And the number of items you can bind per level is 1 at level 1, 2 at level 20, 3 at level 50 Dungeoneering, 4 at level 90 Dungeoneering, and 5 at level 120 Dungeoneering. And if you want to change your binded setup, just go to the smuggler in your dungeon, right click him and choose bind setup, and then just drag and drop whatever you wish to do. You can have free presets, by the way. Now once you finish your dungeon, you see the experience you've gained, the tokens you receive, which is always 1/10 of your experience unless there's some kind of double token weekend or whatever. And you can see your prestige that you had previously and what floor you did, what size it was, and stuff like that. Now I hope you guys kind of understand the basics of Dungeoneering. Once you get into it, it does get pretty straightforward. once you've done a few dungeons, you get the feel for it, and you can get better and better and start adding teleports and stuff to your action bar. But that's not what this guide is for. This guide is to tell you what to do and not go super in depth, because dungeoneering is a very in-depth skill, and there's people that still speedrun and stuff for records. It's crazy. There's an entire community that does that. And I'm just going to get into what floors you want to be doing and when you want to reset your Ring of Kingship, which can easily be done on your Ring of Kingship just by opening it and then just resetting your floors from there. So once you've unlocked Dungeoneering fully, you want to go ahead and train from levels 1 to 33 on floor 1 to 17 on complexity 6 small. From levels 33 to 57, you want to be doing floor 1 to 17 on complexity 6 small, and then floor 18 to 29 on complexity 6 medium. Then from levels 57 to 79, you want to be doing floor 1 to 30 on complexity 6 small, then floors 31 to 40 on complexity 6 medium. Every time once you've done all your floors for your level, you want to reset your Ring of Kingship, by the way, just so you know. Just reset it again and repeat the process if you're not the certain level you want to be at yet. So from levels 79 to 91 Dungeoneering, you want to rush floors 1 to 30 on complexity 6 small, then do floors 31 to 46 on complexity 6 medium or large with a big group, which will speed up your dungeoneering experience per hour. If you're a solo player, however, you cannot do large dungeons, as you need 4 or 5 players to do a large dungeon. So the only difference with group dungeoneering is that group dungeoneering is just faster experience per hour, as with multiple people in a dungeon doing things and opening doors, it's just going to be so much faster. But there's nothing wrong with doing dungeoneering solo at all, especially not with the alternate training methods that I have coming up later in the guide. And finally, levels 91 to 120 Dungeoneering, you want to be rushing floors 1 to 30 on complexity 6 small again, and doing floors 31 to 60 on complexity 6 medium or large if you're with a group. Now there is a French hack called Free Leech, with a space between those words, and they actually let you leech floors for free, which is kind of AFK. You can't really AFK, you have to keep focusing on your chat, but what you do is, well, people ask for leeches so that they can do a large dungeon solo completely. They're usually players with 200 mil Dungeoneering, and you just leech the dungeon from them. So it's usually you and 3 other leeches and the person doing the dungeon, or it's a duo, then it's just 3 leeches, of course. And all you do is sit at the Gatestone portal and wait till you get called in the chat to go there to do a puzzle like emotes or levers, and end the dungeon at the end. So you can't really AFK, but you have to look at your chat. You can kind of look away every now and then, of course, but they don't want you to AFK, and that will get you kicked. But yeah, that's a thing. You can AFK Dungeoneering there. Well, not AFK again, semi-AFK, or just get it relaxing instead of doing the dungeons yourself. Now finally, the alternative ways of training Dungeoneering. Sinkholes, which are a daily D&D that you can do twice a day. Now these are very, very good, as it just, they take 10 minutes and they give you a huge chunk of Dungeoneering experience and Dungeoneering tokens. They're just super easy experience and tokens, and I'll leave a full guide in the description below if you are interested. Another way of training, well, not exactly training, it's obtaining tokens, is through elite dungeons. Now they are a PVM related way of obtaining Dungeoneering tokens, and a bunch, I can tell you. Like, you can obtain a huge amount very fast. And they reward tokens, of course, and other drops which can make you money, because in the end you're killing bosses and just finishing a dungeon, or yeah, pretty much a dungeon. Not like a Dungeoneering dungeon, but you know what I mean. Now I'm not recommending them at all if you're at a lower combat level, because it's just way too hard to do. But yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning. Anyways, without further ado, that was my 1 to 99 and 120 Dungeoneering guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Leave a like down below, and maybe if you consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
When you're feeling down on your luck, you're tired and stuck, enough is enough. You gotta pick yourself up, cause life gets hard, it might leave scars.